Hey guys, welcome to a massive, one-of-a-kind episode of our sports deep dive that you do not want to miss. We are breaking down a story today that has totally rocked the boat across the global tennis scene, and blown up on social media. It is the news that has every fan, analyst, and casual viewer absolutely locked in, and it centers on the incredible Alexandra Eala. She is the pride of the Philippines and easily one of the most electrifying young pros out there, but she is facing a serious uphill battle. Come March 7th, Alexandra Eala is not just scheduled for one big match, she is stepping up for two. That is two high-pressure showdowns in a single day, and the whole world is stunned. The industry is going wild with a mix of disbelief and hype, while thousands of supporters are promising to catch every single second of the action. To get why this is such a big deal, we have to look at what pulling a doubleheader at the pro level actually does to the human body. We are not talking about a fun weekend game. This is elite competition where every point is a war, serves are like bullets, and it feels like running a marathon while playing chess at top speed. When the word got out that Eala had to play twice on March 7th, the sports community basically gasped in unison. It is a brutal, punishing, and super rare situation in today's ultra-optimized tennis landscape. Pros usually get a full day, or at least a long night, to heal up, flush out the lactic acid, see their physical therapists hit the ice bath and mentally prep for the next rival, but Eala gets zero downtime. She is walking into a pressure cooker that is going to push her stamina and her mental toughness to the absolute breaking point. This crazy schedule has sparked a huge debate across every major sports channel and online forum out there. People are clearing their calendars right now because they know March 7th is going to go down in history for this phenomenal player. You can practically cut the tension with a knife. There is this electric vibe in the air, like everyone is holding their breath to see how this prodigy handles a gauntlet that would make even Grand Slam vets nervous. What makes this story so gripping is the background on exactly who Alexandra is. She is not just another name on the roster. She is a total pioneer. Every time she ties up her shoes and walks onto the court, she is carrying the hopes and dreams of an entire country. The Philippines loves its sports, plain and simple. But getting a global icon in the tough, Western-dominated world of pro tennis has been a long, hard road. Eala is that dream come true, and now she is being asked to pull off something that sounds almost impossible. That first game is going to need her best physical shape, using her strong baseline shots, court speed, and smart tactics just to get the win. But the real story of March 7th starts the moment that first match ends. How much gas will be left in the tank, and how will her body handle stopping cold only to redline it again a few hours later? The physical price of a pro match is huge. Athletes drop liters of sweat burn through their fuel reserves, and their nervous systems take a beating from the constant intensity. We are talking explosive moves, and the laser focus needed to track a ball flying at over 100 miles per hour. Asking a body to survive that and then do it all over again against a fresh, hungry rival is the ultimate check of greatness, and that is why we are watching. That is why the headlines are blowing up. It is human nature to love the extraordinary and watch someone smash the limits of what is possible. We are hooked on the spectacle of true grit. We want to know if all that training at the Rafa Nadal Academy, the crazy fitness drills, and the hard work will be enough to get her through this. The fans get it from the thousands watching in Manila to the viewers in New York and Tokyo. They know they are about to see something truly unique. It is not just another tennis broadcast. They are tuning in to watch a career-defining moment for a young star destined for the top. They want to see heart guts and the sheer willpower of a young woman standing tall against a massive obstacle. It is a nightmare for her coaches, but a fascinating riddle for the experts. How do you even prep for this? Do they tell her to save a little energy in Game 1 for the second round? In this sport, holding back even 1% can be the gap between a huge win and a total loss. You just cannot coast when you are playing against the best in the world. So she has to go full throttle banking on her elite fitness and fast recovery tricks to survive the break between games. The mental strength to stay locked in, not look ahead, and then wipe the slate clean for match 2 is rare, especially for someone her age. March 7th is way more than just a date on the calendar now. It has turned into a high-stakes showdown and the center of attention for the whole sports world. The noise surrounding this is absolutely unreal. You have got pundits everywhere tearing apart every angle from her endurance history to her water intake, arguing if this crazy schedule proves her grit or if it is just a reckless roll of the dice inviting a burnout. Yet through all the noise and endless hot takes, one fact stands taller than the rest. Alexandra Eala is currently the undisputed center of the sports world. Everyone is talking about her, and the excitement is ramping up to a breaking point. Sure, people are stunned, but honestly, they are completely hooked. We are mesmerized by the idea of watching this prodigy face a gauntlet demanding all her skill power and heart. It is the perfect setup, a narrative goldmine dripping with tension and insane stakes. You have a hero everyone loves backed by legions of die-hard supporters hanging on every single shot she hits during that critical day. So let's peel back the layers and really dissect what this double-duty showdown implies for Eala, her future path, and the entire game of tennis. To really grasp how heavy March 7th is, we have to zoom out and examine the bedrock her career stands on. Alexandra Eala didn't just drop out of the sky overnight. Her spot on the global stage was earned through years of relentless, agonizing grind and total devotion to the game. Packing up and leaving home for Spain to train at the legendary Rafa Nadal Academy was a game-changing move. She stepped into a world where greatness isn't a bonus. It is the bare minimum. Surrounded by elite mentors, top-tier tech, and that gritty fight-until-the-end spirit of Nadal, Eala was molded in a serious crucible. That history is the key to understanding how she might survive the crush of 2 back-to-back matches. The Nadal way is built entirely on physical stamina and an unbreakable mind. It means playing every ball like it decides the championship, never giving an inch, and having the tank to outrun your rival no matter how long the war lasts. So, eyeing the brutal lineup for March 7th, you have to admit Eala is probably one of the few prospects on Earth built to survive this specific kind of torture test. No doubt her drills have mimicked these exact scenarios of fatigue and quick turnarounds. But faking tired legs in a drill is a whole different animal from feeling it during a high-pressure pro tournament with the whole world watching. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of what physically happens in a pro match. Tennis is basically a series of violent energy bursts mixed with tiny gasps for air. You are constantly dashing, slamming on the brakes, cutting hard, and torquing your midsection to hammer the ball. That hammers the anaerobic system, flooding the muscles with lactic acid pretty fast. After 2 or 3 hours of that, the toll is massive. Your legs start feeling like lead weights. That lightning-fast takeoff lags just a hair, and the complex movement chain needed for a perfect serve or ground stroke starts to crumble. We call that physical breakdown. Once the handshake at the net is done, that immediate time frame is vital. The body has to purge metabolic junk, refill the empty fuel tanks with specific nutrients, and start patching up microscopic muscle damage. Usually an athlete gets a full night to let that happen. They sleep, which is the best medicine there is, letting the body's repair crew go to work. But on March 7th, Eala might only get a couple of hours. In that tiny window, her crew needs to run a recovery drill with military precision. That means spinning on a bike to flush toxins, fierce massages, chugging shakes with the perfect carb-to-protein mix, and maybe using fancy air compression sleeves or spot-freezing therapy. Yet even with the best tech on the planet, biology has limits. When Eala walks out for round 2, she's guaranteed to be running on fumes. She simply won't be at 100%. That is where this gets really interesting because the physical side takes a back seat to the head and heart game. When your quads are dead, your chest is on fire, and your body is begging to quit what keeps you moving. Raw mental grit. It is the smarts to tweak the plan mid-fight. Knowing she can't chase every ball down, she will have to outposition the other girl. She has to see the future, predict incoming fire better, and probably switch to a knockout punch style to end points fast and save her battery. Plus, we have to talk about the psychological weight on her shoulders. The buildup is already crushing thanks to the media circus and her army of expecting fans. But the war inside her head during that second match is a totally different monster. It is so easy for a pro to crash after the high of the first bout, whether they won or got smoked. If she takes the first win, the trick is coming down from that cloud 9 to lock in on a fresh enemy. If she gets beat down in the opener, the hill gets way steeper. She has to box up that heartbreak, delete it from her brain, and find the fire to go back into the trenches just a few hours later. Keeping a cool head like that is exactly what separates the good players from the legends. We also have to think about what this means for the game and the people watching. The folks who circled March 7th on their calendars are not just sitting in the stands watching the world go by. They are a huge piece of the puzzle. When the tank is running low and the legs are heavy, that noise from the bleachers or even the love coming from social media can give a player that extra gear they didn't know they had. Knowing an entire country is burning the midnight oil, calling out sick, or losing sleep just to see her play is going to fuel Eala like nothing else. That kind of shared vibe turns a weird scheduling quirk into a full-blown cultural phenomenon. It really shows how much traction women's tennis is gaining, especially for stars coming out of places like the Philippines that are staking their claim on the world map. You also have to consider the game plan from the other side of the net. Whoever she plays in that second round is going to know she is gassed. Any smart competitor is going to try to drag out the points as long as possible. Expect to see a lot of drop shots forcing her to scramble to the net and then retreat to the baseline. They will use heavy topspin to keep her stuck in the back court, making her work for every single inch. The goal will be to test those legs right from the first serve. How Eala handles that pressure is going to come down to smart court management. She has to be the one setting the pace. If she lets the other player lure her into a marathon grinding session, the chances of her hitting a wall go through the roof. That is why her service game is going to be her best friend out there. Landing those first serves means easy points and quick finishes. On the return, she has to be aggressive and put her opponent on their heels right away. Every move she makes in match number 2 needs to be about saving gas and staying efficient. March 7th is shaping up to be a major headline in the story of Alexandra Eala's career. It is the kind of gut check that makes an athlete dig down and find a level of toughness they probably didn't even realize was there. Whether she sweeps both matches, splits the difference, or just runs out of steam, just having the guts to suit up twice in one day earns her major respect across the board. Real legends are made in the fire. This takes away all of the glitz and glam of the Pro Tour and boils it down to the basics. It is just one person battling an opponent, the conditions, and their own exhaustion to see who blinks first. Looking at this wild scenario, you have to admit this one day could trigger a huge leap in her growth as a player. What she learns on March 7th about how far she can push her body and what she needs to eat on a quick turnaround, plus how she handles the mental stress, is going to be gold for her coaches. It helps sharpen her training and gets her ready for those deep runs in the Grand Slams where stamina is everything. When you really peel back the layers, this isn't just about who wins or loses 2 tennis games. It is a real-time experiment in human endurance, a maturity test for a young star, and a showcase of just how brutal the pro circuit can really be. Before we wrap up this breakdown, we need to take a second to appreciate just how big this moment is going to be. All those headlines saying the world is stunned, they aren't exaggerating. They capture the real excitement around Alexandra Eala's massive doubleheader on March 7th. This is way more than just another date on the schedule. It is a must-see event, a trial by fire that is going to ask for every ounce of effort this kid has in the tank. We have talked about the physical pain, the mental weight, the training that got her here, and the incredible force of the fans backing her up. What Alexandra Eala is trying to pull off here is the definition of big league ambition. It proves she has that killer instinct and won't run from a fight no matter how crazy it looks. When she walks out for that second match on March 7th, body hurting and mind spinning with a whole country watching, she is going to show us exactly why we love this game. She is going to demonstrate just how much a human can take and the power of refusing to quit. If you are tuning in, this is one show you absolutely do not want to sleep on. It is a lesson in toughness happening right before our eyes. So, set those alarms, circle the date, and get ready to see history in the making. We will be there. The world will be there. And we are going to analyze every ace, every long exchange, and every big win. Thanks for hanging out with me for this look at Alexandra Eala's wild ride. Do you want me to keep you posted on the scores and what she has to say after the matches wrap up on March 7th?